There is, in the rundown, really only two stories. The big story is the one that really, really matters is the $1.9 trillion, which no one's trying to pay attention to in the mainstream media. Democrats are going to blow a whole bunch of the future's money on their friends. And I don't know how much because there's no reporting on it. And I can't see the bill. I just posted the note at from the Wall Street Journal, Biden Senate press bill without pay boost. They've given up on the minimum wage. That's clearly not connected with the budget, and the parliamentarian said so. So the left is very unhappy, and they tried to come up with a bunch of gimmicks to get a $15 minimum wage. That's not happening. So that's the good news. That won't destroy jobs. But then on Monday, the parliamentarian ruled in favor of Democrats, including health care subsidies for laid-off workers, and listen for this, and support for multi-employer pensions. Okay, what does that mean? Multi-employer pension. What does support mean? How much money are we talking about? Because what I think, I don't know this, it's not in the report, I think they're going to funnel a bunch of money to state pension plans for retired state workers, which are vastly underfunded in places like Connecticut, Chicago, Illinois, and California. I think it's a pension bailout for retirees on public employee pensions, the likes of which you have never seen. If you're in California, unless you're in California, you have no idea what, over the past 40 years, California's elected officials have voted to their public employees. And of course, they haven't got the money for that. Those are vastly unfunded. Wisconsin people will be the most screwed by this because they've saved and been prudent in their public employee contracts, and their public employee pension fund is the most funded of all of them. It's not 100% funded, but it's close. I think it's like 92 or something like that last time I looked, percent funded. But in California and Connecticut and Chicago, they're just complete train wrecks. They've got anything near what they need. And that's the big looming hidden cost that's off the books. So if you know, please let me know. Now let's go to the main story. Number one story of the morning. Headline, New York Times. Cuomo accused of unwanted advance at wedding. Can I kiss you? And it goes into, it's written so funny. Instead of the headline should be third allegation of harassment lodged against Andrew Cuomo. That's what the real story is. It goes into this long thing. I posted the picture of Andrew Cuomo grabbing the woman he had asked to kiss and pulling her close. And it's appalling. And that's the third allegation in a week. Should he resign? 1-800-520-1234. Believe all women, remember that? If Kavanaugh had a picture like this, he would not be Justice Kavanaugh. He would not be Judge Kavanaugh. He would be Brett Kavanaugh working in obscurity somewhere. That would be over. They had nothing like, this is pictures worth 1,000 words. This is worth 1,000 stories and 100 hours of television. Lindsey Graham on Fox News with Sean Hannity last night said this, cut number one.
Well, number one, the idea that Cuomo would appoint his own investigator tells you a lot about his mindset. So the Democratic Party is now piling on Andrew Cuomo because he's made a lot of enemies along the way. But you've been consistent and I've been consistent. We allowed Dr. Ford to be heard. There were 5 accusations against Justice Kavanaugh. 3 were literally made up. And when it comes to Dr. Ford, I think something happened to her, but I don't think Brett Kavanaugh had anything to do with it. And all I'm asking my Democratic colleagues who believed every word Dr. Ford said, even before Judge Kavanaugh spoke, and we did an investigation, you're now giving Cuomo a complete pass. Schumer went on the floor of the Senate day in and day out accusing all of us.
Lindsey's asking for one rule. One rule. He just wants one rule, which is real evidence of real harassment means an exit. Not allegations, real evidence. I haven't even talked much about this story. I don't think I may have mentioned it yesterday because I wait without, people are entitled to do that picture is everything. Now, Chris Cuomo's doing the best he can. I'm not mad at Andrew and Chris for the Andrew and Chris show. That was funny. And people didn't think that was good television in the middle of a crisis, even though Andrew Cuomo was botching it and thousands of elderly died because of his, and there was a cover-up. That's all unraveling. But back to the days when Andrew and Chris would talk about, Mom liked you best. No, she liked you best. That was good television. I understood why they did that. Chris Cuomo last night, cut number 2.
Before we start tonight, let me say something that I'm sure is very obvious to you who watch my show. And thank you for that. You're straight with me, I'll be straight with you. Obviously, I'm aware of what's going on with my brother. And obviously, I cannot cover it because he is my brother. Now, of course, CNN has to cover it. They have covered it extensively, and they will continue to do so. I have always cared very deeply about these issues, and profoundly so. I just wanted to tell you that. There's a lot of news going on that matters also, so let's get after that.
That's fine. I think that's a completely acceptable way to. Of course, he can't cover it, and it's the reason I couldn't cover any issue involving my family at all. Period. End of story. And so, of course, he can't cover it. That's fair. The question is, has CNN covered it? Well, Bill de Blasio went on with Jake Tapper yesterday. They may be overcompensating, but because Bill de Blasio is not unprejudiced witness here. He hates Andrew Cuomo. But Bill de Blasio took off after Andrew Cuomo yesterday with Jake. Cut number 4.
Yes, Jake, and we have to believe women who come forward and fully investigate. And, you know, the governor issued a total non-apology earlier and in effect treated sexual harassment as some kind of laughing matter. It's not a laughing matter. It's not a joke. It's very, very serious stuff. And we need a full investigation. If it proves that these allegations are true, how can someone lead a state if they've done these kind of things?
Okay, let's go to cut number 6. Again, Bill de Blasio on with Jake Tapper.
I don't see how anyone can function as a governor and have the trust of the people and the respect of the people if they purposefully covered up the deaths of thousands of our seniors, our elders, family members, beloved family members who are gone. If you cover that up, or if you did things for reasons that had to do with politics or contributions, and if you've sexually harassed young women in your employment, these are disqualifying realities. How can anyone look the people in the face after that? If these allegations, if these charges are proven, there's just no way he can govern.
So you see, de Blasio is going in for the political kill, combining the 9,000 nursing home deaths that Andrew Cuomo is responsible for with the 3 sexual harassment allegations to go for the kill. Ron Kim, New York Assemblyman, on CNN with Brooke Baldwin, cut number 8.
That is not an apology, Brooke. We all know, anyone who's taking a sexual harassment class, there's a big difference between intention and outcome. The outcome is that women were hurt, they felt abused and threatened by the governor, and that's all that matters. And he should be issuing a genuine apology and thinking about resigning as soon as possible.
You heard the sound a moment ago.
And then let's go to Jen Psaki at the White House yesterday, cut number 3.
Well, Ashley, as I said yesterday, that story was incredibly uncomfortable to read as a woman. And we certainly believe that every woman coming forward, Charlotte, Lindsay, should be treated with respect and dignity and be able to tell their story and treated with respect. There is a process of reviewing, as you noted, an independent investigation. We will leave it to that process through the Attorney General to make a determination on the path forward.
But just in general, not about this specific case, but can you just explain, I mean, your White House accepted the resignation of someone who used simply language that was inappropriate and abusive. Is there a red line when it comes just to language, or is President Biden's red line, does it have to be something?
I'm not sure. A red line for whom? I'm not sure what you mean. In what, like, with what outcome?
For if the review shows that Governor Cuomo asked her questions, that it's not, as has also been alleged in other instances, a forceful kiss or an unwelcome physical overture, but just mere questions about someone's personal life, or sex life, or romantic life, or anything that makes someone feel uncomfortable, especially in a subordinate relationship with someone in power. Is that something where someone should have to resign, or should there be other consequences? That's what I mean by the red line.
Look, the language,
She didn't answer the question, and because nobody wants to be Bill de Blasio, but I think watch that space and call me.